everybody, Kevin here. Are you curious to know if some of the things that you're eating that you think are good for you are actually causing you more harm than good? I'm going to share some light in this video on one ingredient in particular that's labeled as a health food or a health alternative that is really not doing you any good whatsoever. And this is all going to revolve around gut health. This is going to be our conversation today. And I love talking about gut health. No idea why, but I do. So to start off, before I get into that ingredient, let's just kind of do a 10,000 foot view of our gut, the function, and the effects on health. So to start off, and specifically I want to talk about gut flora. So your body has more like bacteria, microbes in the gut than anywhere else on your body. And they do a lot of good things. The good ones do. So we've got good bacteria in the gut, we've got bad bacteria in the gut, and so there's always this kind of push-pull battle for real estate, basically. And the good bacteria does a lot of amazing things. So just to kind of cover some of the things that they do, one thing, it helps us break food down, and it allows us to absorb the nutrients from the food a lot better. So, which is an important thing because the food that we're eating anyway is pretty much nutritionally bankrupt. So we want to make sure that for every mouthful that we're getting the biggest bang and the most amount of nutrients as we can, right? The good bacteria does so many different things. It actually helps synthesize vitamins, create hormones, keeps everything regulating and functioning properly within the gut. And the gut has a lot of different functions. So separate from, just like digesting and absorbing nutrients from food, serotonin, for an example, all the serotonin in your body, 90% of the serotonin that's produced in your body comes from the gut, which is amazing. So if you have kind of a disruption in the function of your gut, you're going to have a disruption in those serotonin levels. And they've had a lot of different studies out that have actually shown that people who have like are on antidepressant meds, getting them to kind of repair and fix and get a healthier gut system, they're actually able to back off of those meds, which is really awesome. If you don't know what serotonin is, it's basically one of those feel-good, happy, mood-altering chemicals that your body produces, like dopamine and all the different endorphins. So that's pretty awesome right there, right? Another function of the gut is the immune system. The bulk of your immune system actually originates from your gut. So if you have a dysfunction in your gut, you're going to have a lower immune system. So if you find yourself getting sick and colds and stuff a lot, or a big one that I see all the time is the skin. If you are past the years where you're going through puberty and you're still having skin issues in your 20s, 30s, 40s, most likely all that is coming right back to what's going on right there in your belly, right? So if we could get that fixed, repair what's going on there, your body is going to be able to actually fix everything else through its system. So imagine it kind of like your body only has so much resources and energy to go around. And if your gut's not functioning well, it is going to have a lesser output of that energy and resources. And if your gut's damaged and your body's having to constantly use those resources and energy to repair your gut, it's not going to be able to repair everything else throughout your body, skin being one of those things. Another thing with the gut is kind of on the flip side is looking at autoimmune diseases. So when we get to the point to where we've got like a leaky gut syndrome, not only is our autoimmune system going to be diminished, but your body will actually start attacking itself, right? So if you yourself have some sort of like chronic ailment, or if you've ever known somebody to have an autoimmune disease, or if you have one yourself, you should know by now how important the gut is, because most of those autoimmune diseases, if not all of them, actually originate from different complications and things that's going on with your gut. So, long story short, right, the gut is very, very important. We want that sucker to be working as efficiently and be as healthy as can be. So, looking at our health ingredient that everybody should stay away from is sucralose, right? And you see this everywhere. Sucralose came out, it was Sometime in the 90s, it was passed to be able to use sucralose as a sugar alternative. So originally, since sucralose doesn't have any calories to it, it's a compound that's supposed to stay within the intestinal tract. It doesn't actually absorb into the body. They figured that it was going to help us with the obesity epidemic, and it actually has done the opposite of that. But what sucralose does a really good job of is killing your good bacteria and creating more bad bacteria, which is completely the opposite of what we want when we're trying to build a healthy body. And the one thing that I always find fascinating is when you go to a nutrition shop and you go through and you look at the labels on most of the stuff they have in that nutrition store, everything has, or most things have sucralose in it. So as a I'm not going to throw out names of stores, but GN something or other or Complete something or other, they have these top of the line protein shakes or pre-workouts or recovery formulas. You look at it and it's got sucralose in it. How is it that you're going to perform better and increase your health when you're diminishing your gut at the same time? It doesn't happen that way. So that's an ingredient that we need to watch out for and stay away from. Where's I going to go with that? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart there for the moment. But looking at sucralose, they've got some studies out that actually show that, and this may be a little over-exaggerated, I think, but just a single packet of Splenda, and Splenda is kind of the commercial name for sucralose, can kill off half of your gut flora. And if you know anything about gut health, if you start destroying that bad bacteria and start building, kill off the good bacteria and start building the bad, it takes months and months and months to be able to repair that. Some other things there, when you start messing around with the gut, and especially when you start getting into those kind of autoimmune issues and stuff like that, it creates inflammation through the entire body, right? So now your knees are hurting, your back's hurting, you get arthritis, right? You get puffy, right? Nobody wants to be puffy. Stay away from that stuff. But there's one more point I wanted to make. Another thing that actually I just came across maybe like 6 months ago is that sucralose has now been found to actually produce glucose insensitivity. I said that wrong, but it's going to make it to where your body needs to produce more insulin in order to take care of the glucose. So if you imagine for every unit of glucose that enters your body is going to counter that with X amount of insulin. And they found that through sucralose use, that insulin that needs to be produced is going to be doubled up to and including 7 times the amount that it used to need to produce in order to take care of that glucose. Sucralose is some bad stuff, guys. You want to stay away from that. If you are using supplements and you want to see maybe what I'm using, what I use has absolutely no artificial sweeteners, colorings, flavorings, artificial caffeine, none of that in it. If you want to see what some good clean supplements look at, you can hit me up. I'll show you what I use. But other than that, check your labels, guys, especially on anything that is like a flavored drink. Check those labels, look for sucralose, and stay away from it. Hope you guys got something out of this. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.